Hello dear students, a very good afternoon to all of you, and I welcome you all to yet another very exciting and interesting session on the YouTube channel of ODA Class. So dear students, we will continue to learn in this class the acids, bases and salts, and there is one more topic that we are learning today, that is the indicators. So my dear students, to continue to learn such interesting topics in a very innovative way, you all can download our live learning app, and my dear students, you can also enroll into our 1 week long concept booster program at a very affordable rate of just rupees 29.49 or 99 based upon your class. So dear champions, in today's class, we are all learning a very interesting topic, that is the indicators. But first of all, since this is the session in continuation with a class that was already taken before, you can watch that as well, and it will help you in boosting your knowledge as well as you will be helped in making notes of these, in fact concise notes. Now, so let us just quickly revise, and before that I would like to introduce you to myself. My name is Kritika Sharma and I am your Master Science teacher here at ODA Class. More about myself. I have completed my post-graduation from Punjab University, Chandigarh, and I have also secured rank 1 in PU CET PG. In my more than 2 years of teaching experience, I have taught, I have mentored thousands of wonderful students just like you. Some of them are also Olympiad rank holders. So now you are at a very best place to learn things, and we will first quickly revise what we had studied or what we had learned in the last video. So here we go dear champions. In the last video we had studied about what are acids, what are bases, what are salts and how are salts formed. So first of all, let's just quickly revise them. What are acids? Acids are those chemical compounds which have a sour taste and they release H+ ions when dissolved or in a solution. Similarly, when we talk about the bases, they are bitter in taste. Since they are bitter in taste, it does not mean that you have to go and taste a chemical compound. That is just a property. So warning dear students, do not taste any chemical compound. Now let's get back. So bases, they have a bitter taste and they release OH negative ion in a solution or when dissolved. Now when we come to the salts, so salts are formed when acids are combined with bases or when these two combine. And this type of reaction, wherein acids as well as base they combine together, such type of reaction is known as neutralization reaction, because in this type of reaction the properties of acids, the properties of bases, they are all getting neutralized and a new type of substance is formed, and that substance is known as salts. And dear champions, we will be learning about indicators, the properties of indicators and the different types of indicators in today's class. Now dear champions, as the name suggests, indicators, right? So it does mean that it is indicating something. What is it indicating? It is indicating the nature, the type of chemical compound, whether a substance is acidic in nature or whether a substance is basic in nature or is it neutral. So an indicator, as the name suggests, you can remember it very easily. Indicator indicates the chemical nature of a substance. It can be acidic, basic or neutral, right? So we will be learning about the properties of indicators. Then we will be learning about different criteria that are required for any object to be classified as an indicator. And dear students, we will then be learning about different types of common indicators that are used in our day-to-day lives, or we use them commonly in the chemical laboratory. So let us start dear students, and here we learn the chemical properties or definitely the properties of an indicator. So first of all, it is mild organic acid or a base. Any indicator that we take, it is either acid, a mild acid of a very weak nature, or a base in nature. It is organic, that means it is sourced from a natural substance. Then it changes color in an acid or a base. So this is a criteria. It can either change color or there will be change in some other type of property which indicates the different chemical compounds. So there will be a change in some or the other chemical property. Then it does not take part in the reaction. You add indicator to a substance, but it does not react with it, okay? There it would simply indicate it does not take part in any reaction. And dear students, it can be a dye. It can be a dye which shows the different changes in color. Now let us move on, and now we will be learning about the different criteria or a set of criteria that are required for any object to be classified as an indicator, right? So here we go. Now my dear students, first of all, the very first criteria that we have here is that it gives a visible sign. It gives us some visible sign, some very obvious sign of changing when we put it or when we add it to some chemical compounds. There has to be some visible or some very obvious signs. That is why it is named as indicator. Then it should be cheap and usually easily available, because we have to test a chemical compound whether it is acidic, whether it is basic. So for that we would be needing that type of indicator which is cheap and it is easily available. Other than this, it should be non-toxic in nature, okay? It should not be toxic, it should not be harmful to us in any way. It should be a non-toxic compound, and it must show a color contrast when we add it to different types of substances. Let's say for an example, when we add it into an acid, it must show a different type of color. When we add it into a base, it must show a different type of color. There must be a color contrast, right? Now my dear students, let us move further, and dear champions, we will now be classifying the different types of indicators. So on the basis of origin and on the basis of mode of identification, we can classify the indicators. So the indicators, they can either be of natural origin, that they are naturally available. They are available surrounding us, we can obtain them from the nature. And they can also be synthetically prepared by man, prepared by human in a chemical laboratory per se. Then we move on to the next type of classification, that is mode of indication. So how would an indicator indicate the nature of the substance it is added in? So that can either be visual, that for example I added to some substance and the color changes. That is a visual mode of indication. And the second type of it can be olfactory. That means we can smell different types of smells. Say for example, when we add it to acid, it gives out a different smell. When we add it to a base, it gives a different type of smell, or the smell is suppressed, something like that. Vanilla is a very good example. I know many of you must be shocked to know that vanilla is actually an indicator, but yes, it is an indicator, and we will be learning more about different types of indicators. So now let me tell you about the different types of indicators, right? So here we go. Here comes the very first type of indicator, that is the litmus, okay? So dear students, litmus and litmus paper, it is obtained from litmus only. So that is a very common type of indicator, commonly used in school laboratories. You might have often seen it also. So this is a purple colored dye, right? It is a purple colored dye. It is obtained from lichens. Lichens are some small green substances that you can, observe in some moist areas. So this litmus, it is obtained from lichens, as you can observe here in this image as well. So you can observe it. These all are lichens. It is collected or obtained from a natural source, which is lichens. And when when we introduce an acid to litmus or a litmus paper, it would be red in color. But when we add up a base to litmus or a litmus paper, litmus can either be in a solution form, it can also be in a liquid form, right? So that will be blue in color. So let me just show you the litmus paper test. So many of you will be performing this in your school laboratory as well. All you have to do is you have to obtain a litmus paper. Now litmus paper is usually purple in color, but sometimes it will also be red in color. So the blue litmus paper, it will turn red. Okay, just remember, in acids, the litmus will be red in color. However, when we come to the base, it will be opposite, right? So, the red litmus, it will turn blue in bases. I hope it is clear. So, it's just opposite in both the cases. When we add acid to litmus, or when a litmus paper is added into an acid, that time it will turn in red color. If it is already in red, then there will be no change. However, when we add a litmus to a base, then the color change will be from red to blue. If it is already in blue color, then there will be no color change, right? Now let us move further. Let us try to learn about more types of indicators. And my dear students, here we go. So another type of indicator that is naturally available is the China rose. Okay. So the China rose, it is an indicator that is light pink in color. And as the name suggests, as you can see right here, it is obtained from a China rose plant. It can be extracted from that China rose plant. When we add this China rose indicator into acids, it turns into magenta color, as you can see right here. Okay. In acid, it is showing magenta in color. However, when we add it into a base, it will be green in color. And when it is neutral, as I've already said, it is a light pink colored indicator. So in neutral, it will be blue in color, right? Is it clear to everyone? So China rose, it is neutral. In neutral case, it will be light pink in color. It will be green in case of bases, and in cases of acids, it will be magenta in color, right? Let us move ahead. Let us try to learn about more indicators. So till now, we have studied about China rose and litmus. Okay, so let us see what is ahead. And now comes turmeric. So I'm sure it might have happened with you that many a times you might have observed that you dropped some kind of curry on your clothes, right? And your mama must have said, or anyone in your house must have said, that it will be difficult for it to go away or to remove. Why? Because turmeric is a type of indicator. Turmeric is usually present in that curry. It is a type of indicator. Now when you wash it, whenever you wash it, it will turn red in color. Why is that so? Because you will be washing it with a detergent powder or a detergent soap, something like that, and that would be a base in nature. So turmeric would indicate red in color. That would just indicate that you have applied a base to it, right? So let us dive deep into it and let us learn more about it. So turmeric it's a yellow color, usually bright yellow colored powder obtained from the plant, turmeric plant, that is usually grown, and turmeric contains yellow colored dye. So turmeric powder, it will contain a yellow colored dye which acts as an indicator. Now turmeric, it turns red in basic solution. So in a basic solution, it will be turning as red. However, in acidic solutions, it will retain its yellow color, right? So when it is in acidic or when it is in a neutral phase, neutral solution, it will be simply yellow in color, it will retain its color. However, when we add a base to it or when it interacts with a base, it will turn into red in color. I hope it is clear to everyone. So in acid, it's yellow, in base, it's red. That is how you can just find out the nature of a substance, whether it is acidic or basic, simply by adding turmeric to it, right? Now let us try to learn, and now I will be telling you about phenolphthalein. Okay, so many students make a huge blunder in the spelling of phenolphthalein, or they pronounce it incorrectly. So I'll repeat the pronunciation and you can note down the spelling as well, because if in examinations you write it incorrectly, your marks will be deducted. So make sure you're learning the spelling correctly and you note it down as well. So this is phenolphthalein, right? It is usually used in school laboratories, and phenolphthalein is a chemical compound. It is widely used as an indicator in the laboratories. Now this phenolphthalein is colorless in nature, right? So it will turn pink in a basic solution. When we add it to any base, it will turn pink. However, it will remain just as colorless as it was whenever we add it into an acidic solution. So it is similar to turmeric, right? So it will retain its own color, that is colorless. So it will be colorless in acids. However, it will turn pink in basic solutions. I hope it is clear. Now let us move ahead. And dear students, we will now all be learning about more types of indicators, right? So here we go. So now we come to the olfactory indicators. Till now all of the indicators that we had studied, they were all visual indicators. That means there will be a color change whenever we add them to a chemical compound. So the color change will indicate whether it is acidic or it is basic. But now we come and learn about the olfactory indicators. Now what are olfactory indicators? Let me just explain it to you. Olfactory, as the name suggests, there will be a difference in the smell of the compound. Whenever we add it to acids, whenever we add it to base, there will be different smell, and due to that smell, it helps us to identify whether a substance is acidic or it is basic or is it neutral. So I have listed three most common types of olfactory indicators. The first one being a clove oil. Okay, cloves are usually, they're small, they're a type of spices in India, and a clove oil is an olfactory indicator. It has a very nice, a bit of pungent smell. Then comes onion and then vanilla, right? So yes, I'm sure many of you might be very surprised to know about vanilla being an indicator, but yes, it is, and we will learn more about it. So first of all, let's move ahead, and now we will all learn about the clove oil. So the clove oil, it is extracted from cloves, and there are type of spices as I've already mentioned. So its smell stays active in acids. So the smell of clove oil, whenever we add a clove oil to some acidic compound, the smell will remain the same. The smell will be active. However, when we add it to a base, the smell will be suppressed. That means you will not be able to smell the clove oil. As I've said, clove oil has a pungent smell, a very easily identifiable smell. So in acids, you can easily identify the clove oil, you can smell it. However, when we add it to base, the smell will be suppressed. So it helps us to identify whether a substance is acid or it is a base. After this comes onion. So onion loses its smell when added with a base, as similar to the clove oil. But it does not change its smell when we add it with the acids. Right, so in acids you will be able to smell the onions. However, when we add it to base, the smell will be suppressed. Right, now we learn about vanilla. So vanilla is actually a plant, a flower, and it is extracted, the vanilla flavor that we usually have in our chocolates, ice creams, all of those things. So it is usually extracted from a plant base. Now, as said, the vanilla smell, it will remain active in the acids, right? But once again, the smell will be suppressed when it comes to the bases. So you add vanilla to some acids, right? So this smell, it will remain the same. But when we add it to the base, the smell will be suppressed. So that is all about the olfactory indicators. We studied about clove oil, onions as well as vanilla. Now let's go ahead, and dear students, this is a summary chart that I have prepared, and with this summary chart you can easily remember the colors of different indicators when we add it to acids, base or in a neutral substance. You can also take a screenshot of this right here, because this will be very useful for you all whenever you go into some exams. Before exams, you just have to brush up all of the things. So this type of chart will be very, very useful, right? So let me just quickly revise it for you all. So in case of a China rose, when we add it to a neutral, its neutral color is light pink, pink in color. When we add it to acids, it will be magenta, bright pink or magenta in color. And when we add it to base, it will be green in color. Then let's come to turmeric. In neutral, it is yellow. In acid, it retains its yellow color. But when it comes in contact with a base, it will turn red in color, it will indicate a base by a red color. Then let's talk about phenolphthalein. A phenolphthalein is colorless in nature. In acid, it will remain colorless. However, a pink color would indicate that a substance is base in or basic in nature. Now, let's come to litmus. Litmus, in neutral, it is a purple colored dye. In acids, it turns blue to red or purple to red. But in base, it turns red to blue. So, this was about the visual indicators that I taught you. Now, see, this is a master key and you just have to remember its original color. Okay, so right here on this side, this is its original color and what color it becomes in when it is added, or what it indicates in an acidic solution and what it indicates in a basic solution. So, just remember it, I'll tell you. So, it is Chi-Li, right? Chi-Li, that stands for China rose, and then we have litmus, right? So, a litmus, it is naturally purple or blue in color. In acid, it's red. In bases, it's blue. Let's come to China rose. China rose, red in color. Its original color is red. Then it is red in acids and it is green in bases. Now, let's come to phenolphthalein and turmeric. So, turmeric yellow in color, phenolphthalein is transparent in color. In acids, they retain their respective colors, but in bases, the color changes, right? So, in turmeric, it will be red in base. However, in phenolphthalein, it will be yellowish shade in a base, right? Now, let us also make a master key regarding the natural types of indicators or a synthetic type of indicators. Once again, I would request students that you can take a screenshot of this. You can remember it with this master key and it will be very, very helpful in your upcoming school examinations. So, you can just take that and you can remember their original color, their colors in acids and their colors in bases, right? And here we have, so now I have categorized them as natural or synthetic in nature. So, litmus, China rose and turmeric that we have studied, they are all of natural origin. They are naturally produced. They can be obtained from natural sources. However, phenolphthalein, once again I am telling you to note down the spelling correctly. So, phenolphthalein, it is synthetic in nature and it is used in laboratory. It is prepared by us, right? So, my dear students, you can once again take a note of this, and here is a quick summary of what we have studied in today's class. So, we studied about indicators in this class, that how can we determine any substance whether it is acidic, basic or it is neutral in nature. For that, we use some special substances that are indicators, right? We studied about the properties of indicators, what are different properties, some criteria of indicators, what all criteria must a substance fulfill so that it can be termed as an indicator. We learned about different classifications of indicators and some common indicators that we have studied in today's class, natural as well as synthetic and visual as well as olfactory. So, dear students, that was it in this session. If you do want to continue to learn such amazing concepts with such type of short tricks, master keys, then I highly recommend you download our app and join the booster course, that is a 1 week long program. In this 1 week long program, we provide you with math session, science session, and we teach you some important core concepts that are necessary not only for your school exams, for your Olympiads, but they build a very strong foundation for your higher grades. And at ODA, we always say an early start is the best start. Now, in this, the highlight or the key feature here is a personal mentor teacher that you will be getting here. So, whenever your child has some kind of queries, anything related to academics, the child can come in contact with a personal mentor teacher that will be assigned to you. You can come in contact with them by a phone call or by a text, and they will be taking your sessions and they will be helping you out with any academic related problems. Similarly, you will also be getting homework, tests, and as well as some e-books, some e-study material so that you learn and consume very good content. So, you all can avail all of the features of ODA. Welcome to this concept booster program, and you can enroll now yourself for this at a very affordable price for just rupees 29, 49 or 99. It solely depends on what class you are in, right? So, make sure you do enroll yourself, And dear students, for enrolling, you just have to click on the link that is given in the description. Just click on it and go ahead with the procedure and complete your enrollment. Once you complete your enrollment, you will also be getting some kind of ODA coins which you can use later on to get any kind of gift for yourself from the ODA Mall. So that is it for this class, dear students. We will meet you in another session. Bye everyone.